So, you know, the convoy brought together some amazing people from all across this country, and since that time we've been having discussions and figuring out what is the problem. We're sick of spinning our wheels and trying to figure out what needs to be done to save this country. So a lot of us are looking at our circle of influence, looking at our small towns, looking at our municipalities, and noticing that Agenda 21 is being implemented through our Canadian municipalities, and we're finding all the information to support this. So what we've noticed is that since Brian Mulroney signed us on to Agenda 21 in 1994, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities created a program called the Partners for Climate Protection Program, and with that sent a 40-page document called the Municipal Primer to all of our local municipalities, promoting sustainable development through local strategic action. Now, sustainable development, that sounds like a nice term, but it's not the same thing as true sustainability. Sustainable development is a term they coined in the Brundtland Commission, stating that land cannot be controlled by individuals and that government control of land was indispensable. And ever since that time, we've seen the destruction of the small towns and rural zones of our country. I'm just going to do a little flip here. So by the year 2000, we've seen all the countries that signed on to Agenda 21 now being governed by the United Nations, the G7, the G20, the Council of Foreign Relations, the World Bank, the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, and a lesser-known organization called KICLEI, the International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives. This organization is partnered with the Government of Canada and is working with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities to download into our municipalities all their strategic plans, all their official plans, and doing all the public surveys based on sustainable development action items. So we don't have any other choice in our public surveys. This has gone on for 30 years.
Please share these videos
now,
out, people. Share.
You just take a drive across Ontario or in any province into the rural land, and you'll see that the small towns have turned to villages. The villages have turned to hamlets. The hamlets have turned to ghost towns. The properties that were in our families for generations have been sold off because with the official plans that they're creating, the property owners are no longer able to sever a piece of their land to give to the people in their family or to pay off their mortgage or to pay for their retirement. They end up having to sell the whole thing, and guess who's buying it?
The government!
Well, and the foreign investors. You just look and see how they're doing that. They're being all bought up by foreign investors. So now we're all being driven into what they call the settlement areas, that is the cities. And we see that there's not enough affordable housing for us. So working class people are sleeping in their cars. There's a homelessness problem. There's a drug addiction problem. There's a mental health problem. Well, that goes all the way back to the roots of being kicked off our land in the first place and losing our grounding with our families.
Yep.
So all these problems that we're seeing are really connected to this whole sustainable development agenda. So I don't want to just tell you what the problem is. I want to tell you that there's a solution to this problem. This is all being done in our councils. They are sneaking it through our local councils. And our councils, our mayor and council have governing authority over those municipalities, but they're being tricked out of that governing authority when they partner with programs like the Partners for Climate Protection Program. What will happen is a member of the city staff will put this forward to the council, a 3-page document, a resolution to join the program. And the council will look at it, they see it's coming from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. It looks like it's free. Of course it's free, right? They're going to get some different networking events and tools, and they just, in a 6-hour meeting with a 600-page agenda, this is an easy item for them to pass, and they don't realize the repercussions of it. Because what happens once they partner, again, is all our municipal plans and all our official plans are being drafted by an international organization. And so what we can do, we have a civic duty to go and do public deputations and provide education to our councillors and lay out our arguments against their supporting rationale. It's right here, basically to do with climate change, and we just need to re-educate people on the basic science when it comes to this, okay? For one thing, the climate of the earth has always been changing, right? We just look at, everyone knows, look at the geological archive. The earth temperature has varied ever since the planet existed. The Earth's orbit and tilt drives glacial and interglacial changes. Carbon dioxide is not a pollutant. It's plant food. It only makes up 0.04% of the Earth's atmosphere. So we want to end the temperature, as the concentration of carbon dioxide increases, the warming effect declines. So really, there's a lot that we can point out based on just peer-reviewed studies that can't really be argued with. And we need to go in there and reason with our councillors, and it's a lot easier. You know, we come here to Ottawa, we want them to hear us. That you can easily, and across Canada, really, not everyone can make it to Ottawa, but we can make it to our town councils, and we can organize more effectively there. So what we're putting together is deputation. A deputation is when you formally address your town council. We're putting together deputation templates, much like the Federation of Canadian Municipalities has done, and they've gone in and provided education for the councillors and information for decision making. We need to do the same thing, and we can do the same thing. So if we can just work together, put together the best persuasive arguments, we already have great stuff started. We're already having wins in Peterborough County. The official plan was stopped when we brought forward this information, and when it comes back, it has to go through proper public consultation. And
Yay,
yes,
Peterborough!
go Peterborough! Yeah. And down over in Niagara, the first councillor in Canadian history that we know of, just last week, put forward a notice of motion to rescind their partnership with the Partners for Climate Protection Program. Yeah. And that's how they get out of it. So again, these international organizations seem like they're too hard for us to get at, right? Too hard for us to deal with. But when you look at what they're doing, if you look at this joining resolution, the only way they can implement it is through our local municipalities. That's where the battle is. So today, I don't know if we'll still do a march, but we will go down to the Byward Market to the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. They have a beautiful courtyard there, the Joan of Arc courtyard, and great acoustics. So if you want to come down, and we'll do a little speech down there, and we're going to send a message to the Canadian municipalities, our mayors, our councillors, all across the country, and even our councillors. You know, a lot of them feel bullied in the council. They see this climate stuff constantly coming through and they don't know what to do about it. They need us to go in there with the facts, with the argument, and with the people, and with the right recommendations. So I'll just end with saying, sometimes our freedom isn't taken away by gunpoint. It's one piece of paper at a time. Yeah. One seemingly meaningless rule, like how to make a recommendation in a town council meeting and be effective. Okay? One small silencing at a time. And they are trying to silence us and silence us in doing deputations, but we're finding ways around that too. So it's all coming together, guys. I wanted to give you hope with that. Oh, and my website is gather2030.substack.com, and I have business cards if you guys would like that, if it's hard to remember.
Gather 2030.
And all our templates are
Just research it, you'll find her.